you don't own a house. The Pope doesn't either. But while you're budgeting for rent, he's living in a palace with a private chapel, rocking a $500,000 ring, and getting chauffeured in a bulletproof Mercedes. All without technically owning a thing. From holy vows to high-end perks, this is the paradox of papal luxury, and why it's one of the most elite setups on the planet. Smash that like, subscribe for more deep dives, and let's walk through the Vatican's velvet ropes. Pope Leo XIV, formerly Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, grew up in suburban Chicago, spent years as a missionary in rural Peru, probably more familiar with dust roads than red carpets. Now, he's stepping into one of the most exclusive lifestyles on Earth. No mortgage, no salary, but unlimited access to centuries of royal-grade assets. This is like being named CEO of an empire you didn't build, but now you live in the penthouse with frescoes. The Vatican is more than a spiritual HQ. It's a financial heavyweight. Estimated assets? Around $30 billion. Art collection? Priceless. Property portfolio? Global. From London real estate to Italian vineyards, they've got investments that would make Wall Street look like a side hustle. It's a religious institution. Yes, but it also functions like an old-world hedge fund with incense. Welcome to the Pope's main pad, the Apostolic Palace. It's part office, part fortress, part spiritual mega mansion, private art galleries, libraries, personal chapel, rooms with ceilings taller than most buildings. And when he needs a weekend away, there's Castel Gandolfo, 135 acres overlooking Lake Albano. It's got a pool, a farm, and, historically, summer popes only. Pope Francis opened it to the public, but Pope Leo XIV, he could easily bring back the pontiff on vacation vibes. Let's talk fashion. The Pope's wardrobe is handmade by Gammarelli, the family-run tailor that's been dressing popes since 1798. Every item, custom. Every thread, museum level. From silk cassocks to red leather loafers, this isn't Sunday service. This is holy couture. And the crown jewel, the ring of the fisherman, 24-karat gold, worth about $520,000, engraved with his name, destroyed when he dies. Kind of like a sacramental reset button. Oh, and the papal tiara? Triple-decked crown jeweled to the heavens, weighing in at 18 pounds. Not worn since the 60s, but it's still there, waiting. Pope Mobile, baby. Now fully electric, fully bulletproof, and made by Mercedes. Worth $500,000 and designed to let people see the Pope while keeping him safer than Batman. Compared to earlier popes who were carried on golden thrones by footmen, this is humble, relatively. Also in the Vatican garage, a helicopter, a private train, maybe even the keys to the godliest Uber account in existence. And if you thought the Pope Mobile was the end of it, buckle up. The Vatican runs like a sovereign micronation, because it is one. It's got its own postal system, its own radio station, even its own time zone quirks. And when the Pope sends a message, it doesn't just hit email inboxes, it can shift diplomatic tides. The Vatican's diplomatic corps is one of the oldest on the planet. Nuncios, basically ambassadors, represent the Holy See in over 180 countries. So yeah, while some folks coordinate with interns, the Pope's coordinating with presidents. And still, the smallest details are steeped in ritual. When he walks into a room, there's a protocol. Who bows? Who speaks first? Who sits where? It's like royal etiquette meets spiritual hierarchy, curated to the syllable. Meanwhile, the Pope's residence may have gold ceilings, but daily life? Surprisingly structured. There's morning mass in a private chapel, briefings with secretaries, global affairs in the afternoon. It's not yacht parties and foie gras, it's managing the oldest multinational organization on Earth. And yet, it's still wild to think this same man gets dressed by a tailor who's been in business since Napoleon was alive, walks through corridors filled with Raphael's originals, and then sits down to read a handwritten letter from a child in Argentina. There's this constant tension, sacred grandeur and everyday humanity. Because, let's be honest, this isn't luxury like a tech mogul's. There's no Bugatti, no 250K watch collection, no mega yacht named Grace. But there is access to artifacts worth more than most private islands, and influence that stretches beyond borders. It's not flashy, but it's deeper. It's power wrapped in pageantry, used ideally for purpose. But let's be real, sometimes that purpose comes with gold trim. Because for every mission of mercy, there's a guy in gloves carrying a diamond-encrusted cross. It's like if your nonprofit board meeting happened inside a Fabergé egg. Still, it works. Somehow. The robes, the rings, the velvet everything. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up in a way that says, yeah, this matters. Because nothing says divine authority like walking past a Swiss guard dressed like a Shakespeare character. And that's the thing. The Pope's not living in excess for fun. He's living in a museum. That also happens to be his job. You think open-plan offices are distracting? Try answering emails under a Michelangelo ceiling. So yeah, it's not private jets and champagne towers, but it's also not a studio apartment over a pizza shop. It's somewhere in that weird gilded middle. Just enough holy bling to make Beyoncé blink. Let's talk security. The Pope doesn't just have bodyguards, he has the Swiss Guard. These guys, clad in Renaissance-era uniforms, but trained in modern defense tactics. Think of them as a blend between historical reenactors and elite security personnel. Their loyalty, sworn directly to the Pope. Their training, rigorous. Their presence, unmistakable. Now, daily life in the Vatican isn't all ceremonies and audiences. The Pope's schedule? Packed. Morning prayers, meetings with heads of state, theological discussions, and administrative duties. It's a role that demands both spiritual depth and executive function. And yet, amidst all this, moments of solitude are carved out for reflection and meditation. Even the meals are intentional, simple, often reflecting the Pope's commitment to humility and connection with the everyday person. It's a lifestyle that's both elevated and grounded, ceremonial yet personal. Pope Leo X didn't hold back. Lavish banquets, fireworks, art commissions like they were party favors. He burned through church money so fast, they started selling indulgences. Yes, the whole buy your way out of sin deal. That move helped spark the Protestant Reformation. Now, fast forward, Pope Leo XIV inherits the same symbols of wealth. But now, the pressure's on to balance pageantry with accountability. The world's watching, and it wants less flex, more faith. Here's the tension. The Pope's life is loaded with luxury, but the message is about service and restraint. It's not about personal wealth, but the optics? Unmistakable. Like if a minimalist influencer posted from inside a Versailles closet. To be fair, recent popes have dialed it back. Francis chose to live in a modest guest house, wore simpler clothes, sold some assets. He was like, let's chill on the red velvet. But the aura, the wealth, the regalia, the palaces, it's all still there, waiting. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The church may be ancient, but it's not stuck in the past. The Vatican's digital arm is active, news, live streams, even Vatican apps. It's not the Pope personally tweeting, but the office maintains a real-time online presence. You can watch papal masses on YouTube, catch highlights on Instagram. It's high liturgy, but make it HD. Still, the visuals, robes, mitres, gold rings. The message might be modern, but the branding is straight Renaissance. So what do we make of it? The Pope has no fortune of his own, but the role comes with one of the grandest spiritual toolkits in existence. It's not about ownership, it's about stewardship. The palaces, the vestments, the art, they're relics of power, tradition, and continuity. Not personal wealth, but institutional history. Pope Leo XIV now stands at the center of that story, a humble man draped in centuries of symbolism. If this video blew your mind or made you rethink who really lives lavish, smash that like, hit subscribe, and drop a comment. If you could borrow one Vatican flex for a day, would it be the palace, the Pope Mobile, or the ring? See you next time. Stay curious, stay respectful, stay a little dripped out.